Welcome into WTOL 11 News on Plus. I'm Megan Hartnett. Thank you for joining us. 11 people are charged in connection to the kidnapping, torture, and murders of 2 Toledo teens. The victims, 15-year-old Keyshawn Pittman and 16-year-old Kamarion Wilder. Family members started searching after the pair went missing following a party in December of 2022. From flyers to combing the neighborhoods, they stayed hopeful they'd find the pair alive.
We don't know nothing. We just want my brother home. We want to know he's okay. He's alive. He's not scared, hurt. We just want to know he's okay. Just bring him and Sean home safe.
The case took a tragic turn less than 2 weeks later, and through hours of interrogations, conversations, and deals, nearly a dozen people have faced justice. Tonight at 11 Investigates digs through the evidence in the case, breaking down how 2 teens went missing, why they were taken, and who ultimately killed them. Don't want to wait? You can watch the full-length investigation on demand, plus exclusive insight from the 11 Investigates team right now here on WTOL 11+. We have new details regarding a fatal crash out of Lenawee County. It happened around 7 last night. According to the Michigan State Police, a single vehicle crashed into a tree. The driver, a 29-year-old from Waldron, Michigan, died in the crash. A passenger in the vehicle was taken to the hospital with injuries. MSP says at this time, it is believed alcohol was a factor in the crash. President Donald Trump went to Daytona for one of his home state's biggest annual sporting events. His Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, is in the Middle East as the administration looks for ways to end the wars in Gaza and Ukraine. CBS reports.
President Trump waved to the crowds as he arrived at the Daytona 500 NASCAR race on Sunday. Trump's second presidency is hitting the gas on a number of fronts, including efforts to bring Russia's war on Ukraine to a close.
We're moving along. We're trying to get a peace with Russia, Ukraine, and we're working very hard on it. It's a war that should have never started.
2 U.S. officials tell CBS News that a delegation, including Secretary of State Marco Rubio, will take part in discussions this week in Saudi Arabia.
What we have right now is a call between Putin and President Trump in which both sides expressed an interest in ending this conflict. I imagine there will be follow-up conversations to figure out what a process to talk about that would look like.
On Sunday, Rubio met with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in Jerusalem. The Secretary of State reiterated that Hamas cannot remain in power in a post-war Gaza.
As long as it stands as a force that can govern, or as a force that can administer, or as a force that can threaten by use of violence, peace becomes impossible.
The unequivocal support of the United States on Gaza will help us achieve these objectives faster and set us on a path for a different future.
President Trump has said he wants the U.S. to take control of the Palestinian territory, with residents leaving for Egypt and Jordan, an idea both countries have rejected. This week, an international delegation is set to meet in Cairo for talks focusing on the Gaza ceasefire agreement. Willie James Inman, CBS News, West Palm Beach, Florida.
Well, whether you're a collector, a seller, someone just looking to reminisce, or someone who enjoys a good time, the Stranahan Theater opened its doors for the 45th annual Northwest Ohio Record Show. For just $2, attendees were able to browse the vendor tables where vinyl records, cassettes, CDs, posters, and more were being sold. Music ranged from Pink Floyd to Taylor Swift, along with dozens of other genres.
It's one of those events where everybody from different generations come together for a shared love of music. So there's a lot of great conversations that go on here, people telling stories.
Organizers say they plan to continue hosting the show at the Stranahan and are organizing another record show in May. Toledo Public Schools hosted its annual chess tournament at the Toledo Museum of Art last night. The players were joined by a special guest from the world of chess. 14-year-old Tani Adewumi met with competitors and gave them some tips. He's known as a prodigy of the game and holds a master title with the International Chess Federation. He was born in Nigeria, but fled with his family to the United States due to violence. Adewumi was introduced to chess in school and never looked back.
Chess is mostly my life, as it shapes like a lot of things I do, and it's what I mainly do too. And it's just been so influential and important to me.
Ottawumi presented awards to last night's champions. Some of the first place teams included students from Whitmer High School and Toledo School for the Arts.
2, 1, woo!
Kava Culture is celebrating its grand opening this weekend. The bar aims to replicate all the fun of going out to the bar, but with none of the alcohol. It provides a variety of tea drinks as well as drinks infused with the kava plant. The owners say that kava can help with anxiety.
It gives people who don't want to go out, to the bars that serve alcohol, gives them a safe place. It's actually the vibe that we try to create is when you walk in, you feel like you're going someplace else, really chill.
The next big event is a bachelor watch party this Monday. Well, despite the chilly weather this weekend, dozens went out to Fifth Third Field to have a cold one. The Hensville Winter Brew Fest was last night. Over 30 regional and local craft breweries packed the concourse to serve up the best brews. Owners say it's not only an opportunity to meet new customers, but also a chance to network with other breweries.
I spend a little bit of time at my booth, but I'm always going around to the other breweries, especially the local independent breweries. Get to see those guys, talk to them, see what they've been working on, what they're brewing, try some of their stuff, give them notes, they give me notes.
This year marks the 9th Brewfest so far. Want to see more breakdowns of viral trends and 60-second stories? Check out our WTOL 11 social media pages on YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook.
Turning to that WTOL 11 weather forecast. First it was the snow and now it is the cold. Our next big weather impact is the bitter cold that lies ahead. Temperatures are going to be dropping down into the teens, but we could be talking wind chills near to even a bit below zero. Wind chills are going to be near zero waking up Monday morning, and there could still be a few lingering slippery spots. I know President's Day is not really going to cause any school delay issues. However, those of you going into work tomorrow will have a very cold start to the day. Temperature-wise, we have dropped down well below freezing in the wake of that snow system that came on through. Temperatures are starting to fall. Wind chills have plummeted as well, and we're looking at a feels like that is in the teens in the Toledo Metro, 14 in Wauseon, and up towards Hillsdale, it feels like 12 degrees. These numbers are only going to drop overnight through Monday morning as well. So what about the snow? You may have woken up to several inches of accumulation. Most of the snow is winding down. There is a little bit of lake effect snow shower activity that is drifting off of Lake Michigan between Fort Wayne and Defiance. Also up towards Hillsdale and Williams counties, there is some light snow. Eastern Ohio, a more significant lake effect snowfall event, and we're seeing a few little streamers coming in off the lake from Fremont towards Norwalk. Overall, though, anything that falls from the sky is not likely to cause any additional travel concerns. Snowfall reports from today. As we forecast, it was areas south and east of the river that saw the highest snowfall totals. We're getting some snowfall reports of 3.5 inches in portions of Seneca County. Up towards Erie County, 3.3 inch totals. Down to the south towards Mansfield, there were snowfall reports between about 2 to 4 inches. And across the metro, 2.2 inches reported in Waterville. The official snowfall report at Toledo Express Airport, that was 2.1 inches. I know it might not sound like much, but for how this winter is going, that brings our winter total up to over 10 inches. And in Morenci, Michigan, there was a 2.3 inch snowfall report. Bottom line, that 2 to 4 inch snowfall amounts were common. Now the snowfall, not just a nuisance, but you can have some fun with it. We caught a lot of folks out sledding and enjoying the wintry weather at those area metro parks, including Side Cut with that sledding hill. Fun to go down head first as well in that tube. What a great day for sledding. Hope you were able to take the kids out and enjoy it. I know a lot of those kids enjoying a very long weekend, 4 to 5 days off school, and there was quite a bit of families out enjoying the snow. It was really that fine powdery type snow that made for really good sledding. Not necessarily the best snow fort or snowball weather, but very good sledding weather. And that powdery snow did have a little bit of a coating of ice underneath. So as you were shoveling today, you may have noticed the snow itself was fairly fine. However, that layer of ice underneath did make for conditions that were not so fun to shovel. But yeah, Side Cut Metro Park, what a great place to sled. And tomorrow, if the kids have off for President's Day, could very well enjoy the snow as well. Still a little bit of that lake effect snow shower activity going on from northern Indiana up towards western Michigan. There are some lake effect effect snow bands, and off of Lake Erie, northeast Ohio, seeing some snow. As far as northwest Ohio is concerned, the snowfall has been fairly light in nature, and I expect that anything additional is just going to leave behind a light dusting at most. As this storm system departs, New England is now feeling the impacts of this, and there are winter weather alerts in effect for much of the mid-Atlantic and northeastern United States as that system departs. Still, a few lingering travel impacts are expected. For the rest of your Sunday evening, flurries are going to be winding down. Most of those major roadways are just wet at this point. However, with the dropping temperatures, we are watching the potential for a little bit of refreezing and some slick spots. 8 a.m. tomorrow. If you do have work tomorrow and not off for the holiday, slick spots, we'll call it a yellow light forecast. In other words, use caution. No major delays are expected, but there could still be a few slippery spots, especially on bridges and overpasses. And keep in mind also, some of those sidewalks and parking lots may still have snow and ice. By the afternoon tomorrow, it's going to be cold and dry. You're going to feel a harsh west wind, but at least the roads are just going to be wet at that point. So the hour-by-hour forecast does show you a few of those lake effect snow showers that are going to be streaming on in. And as we fast forward the clock heading into your Monday, President's Day is going to be downright cold, and we're going to feel a cold blast that'll last for the first several days of the work week. And there is some light at the end of the tunnel, but it's going to take some patience because the next couple days are going to bring us high temperatures only in the teens. That alert day winds down Sunday evening. A few slippery spots will be possible. Nothing major compared to this morning, but use caution on the roads. Monday is going to be a cold and windy day. In fact, west winds may gust to 30 miles an hour. Tuesday is going to be the coldest air temperatures that we feel, with an overnight low of 3 degrees. Yeah, and that's not even factoring in the wind, with a feels like that may drop down below zero. So let's start off with temperatures, and then we'll get into the wind chill factor. Temperatures tonight are going to drop down to the lower teens, and into the afternoon, not really going to make much headway in the temperature department. I think Tuesday morning is going to be the coldest of the forecast, with lower single digits on the board, and those are just the air temperatures. That does not even factor in for the wind. So what about the wind? West winds are going to pick up tonight in the wake of a front behind that system. And we're talking wind chills Tuesday morning that could be anywhere from 0 to -10 starting off your day on Tuesday. I don't think it's going to be cold enough to cause widespread school delays, but it can be hazardous if you're not bundled up. So a few extra layers will be needed. West winds sustained at 10 to 20 miles an hour, gusting to 30 miles an hour. It's going to be a cold and windy start to the week, and those wind chills going to be near zero to even below the 0 degree threshold at times. High temperatures are going to be around 18, and there could be a little bit of refreezing on the roadways as a result of that drop in temperature. So keep that in mind. There could be a few slippery spots into the week ahead. Here's the light at the end of the tunnel, though. By the end of February, our normal high temperature, that is going to be up to 42 degrees. This is the time of year when the weather really changes fast. Even though it feels wintry and these last couple of weeks have been full of winter storms, by the end of February, you'd have 42-degree average highs to look forward to. Currently, our normal high temperature is sitting at 38 degrees, and it's going to take us a while before we get up to that average or normal territory. But by the end of the forecast, we are at least going to be closer to average, with some days that are going to be well above freezing, and that'll allow that snow to melt, but it's going to take some time for that to occur. The long-range weather outlook is trending milder, especially west and north of us. Areas from the northern plains like Minneapolis all the way back towards Colorado and the southwestern United States are going to be above average in the temperature department. Now, gray indicates near normal conditions. In other words, not warmer than normal, not colder than normal, just what you might expect for late February. That is the territory that we're going to find ourselves in. In other words, by next weekend, we're looking at average conditions without any major warm-up, but also no major Arctic blast on the horizon. It's going to take a couple days to get there, though, because the work week starts off bitterly cold and ends a little bit milder. But I do think some of those orange and red colors are going to gradually sneak their way into Ohio and Michigan as the weather pattern does take a turn towards the milder, but it is going to take a few more weeks for that to occur. President's Day is going to be very, very cold. Low temperatures in the lower teens, high temperatures in the upper teens. Tuesday morning, the coldest morning. Those low temperatures are shown by the small numbers on the map. We got 3 for the low Tuesday morning and 4 degrees for the low Wednesday morning. By Thursday and Friday, we're at least up to the 20s. And keep in mind, if you didn't shovel today, that snow, it is not going anywhere. It's not melting for the week, and it could potentially become a bit of ice with those dropping temperatures. By next weekend, we're going to be up close to freezing. I am watching a potential weather disturbance that